What is up, my Eryibros? And the Elite Four are a very mysterious bunch. So many theories have surfaced from these members that are very, very interesting. So today, I'm going to be showing you guys the 4 best Pokemon theories about the Elite Four. But I could really use some help on this video. But who should join me?
Pokemon Masters!
Jesus, dude!
That's Bird Jesus to you. Bird Keeper Toby here.
Well, thank you for coming down, Toby, and just as a disclaimer, all these theories that we talk about in this video are not ours, so go show some support to the people that came up with these awesome theories. All links will be in the description below. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And with that being said, let's get started.
Our first theory about the Elite Four is about the Steel-type Elite Four member from the Kalos region, Wickstrom. This theory is from Mystic Umbreon and it discusses the idea that Wickstrom is the undead reanimated corpse of a knight or king from years ago who's being possessed and mind-controlled by his Aegislash.
What?
Pokemon theories be crazy.
The evidence supporting this theory is that Wickstrom dresses and speaks a bit differently from the rest of the people. A bit like he's from a completely different time period. Another point brought up in the video is Wickstrom's team, more specifically Aegislash. What's so important about Aegislash? Toby, why don't you explain?
Aegislash is a Pokemon that can recognize and protect the rightful kings of Kalos. This according to its Pokédex entry, which says, apparently it can detect innate qualities of leadership. According to legend, whoever it recognizes is destined to become king. So, with that in mind, you would assume that Wickstrom is the king of Kalos. Only Kalos doesn't have a king anymore. The last king that we know about was AZ. It's possible that Wickstrom was a descendant of AZ, however, we still are left with the question, why does he talk in the way that he does, as if he was from hundreds of years ago? Look at this.
Aegislash's pre-evolved form Honedge can be found on the route just outside of Parfum Palace where a war was taking place. Long story short, these Pokemon are the spirits of soldiers who fell in battle and had their souls trapped inside of the swords. They also then drain the life force of any soldier who tries to pick them up. What if Wickstrom during the battle outside of Parfum Palace died when trying to pick up one of these swords during the war?
Of course you should be asking, and quite rightfully so, how is that possible seeing as you battle Wickstrom? Well, when you check out Aegislash's other Pokédex entry, you'll understand. Aegislash's spectral powers have the ability to manipulate and mind control people. So what if this king or knight of Kalos picked up a sword that turned out to be a Honedge? Its life force was drained and this Honedge later became an Aegislash. It contains the life force of Wickstrom and possesses its body to keep him alive. As I say, Wickstrom is the undead reanimated corpse of a knight or king of Kalos who is being mind controlled by his Aegislash. Pokemon theories still be crazy.
So theory number 2 comes from Pokemon Insider and PokeTuber Exelion. They speculate that the Elite Four of Kalos are evil. No, but seriously, it's interesting how in every other game, the champion or Elite Four opposes the evil teams of each region, but not Kalos.
In fact, Malvo, one of the Elite Four members, is very openly a member of Team Flare as well. She even runs the news, which is a lot of power for an evil organization to have. They don't have to hide in the back end of game corners or have a gym as their front. They are as out in the open as it gets.
In fact, they pulled off some of the biggest operations, including raiding the Pokeball factory and shutting down the power plant that powered Lumio City. And did anyone stop them? No! Even the champion is seen having a friendly conversation with the boss of Team Flare.
Normally, the champions or gym leaders of each region will stand in to try and help you fight off the evil organizations, but in these games, not at all. In fact, the only one trying to foil their plans is you, the player. You're the only one who seems to see what's going on with this madness. But who knows, maybe Kalos is trying to win a Region of the Year award, and this is just for the greater good. The greater good.
Theory number 3 is another one that comes from Pokemon Insider that claims that Drasna and Cynthia are related. While it's easy to speculate about many of the dragon trainers' relations to each other,
watch my videos!
Anyways, is it possible that these trainers are very closely related? Like maybe even sisters?
This comes from a line where Drasna claims her grandparents moved to Kalos from a distant region, from a town where the past lives on. She also claims to have been brought up on the tales of time and space, so this is definitely Celestic Town from the Sinnoh region.
Most of the evidence for this theory stops there. However, the timeline of these games and the age of the trainers seem to point to it being a possibility as well. Given that they are both powerful dragon-type trainers, it's possible that was a part of their training together. Least evidence aside, I definitely think this is a plausible Pokemon theory, but that's up for you to decide.
And finally, this fourth Elite Four member theory is by me. Hooray for self-promotion! And this theory inquires into a creepypasta. Who are these creepy ghost girls in Phoebe's room?
Well, the first interesting point about this theory is that actually, when you follow the camera's movements, there appears to be not one, but two ghost girls. We also know that Phoebe is the only Elite Four member to be dancing when you enter her room. She can also speak to spirits, as seen later in the games on Mount Pyre, so it seems more than likely that these are the spirits that she can communicate with.
A creepypasta popularized the idea that this could have been Phoebe's younger sister who died, except in the games, Phoebe doesn't have a younger sister, and in fact there seems to be two ghost girls in the room, so I'm tempted to reject this. However, I do have a solution, and that of course is relating to the Pokemon dolls these ghost girls are holding.
There is one Pokemon who, if you ever seen any creepy Pokedex entry videos on YouTube, will know about. Bannet. This Pokemon is said to be the spirit of a doll that was discarded, which according to its Pokedex entry, will haunt the person who throws it away.
It seems to be the case that these two lost souls in Phoebe's room are the souls of the owners of Bannets. Or at least the previous owners of the dolls until they threw them out, and now they are being cursed, haunted forever by Phoebe's two Bannets. But of course these are just 4 theories about the Elite Four.
Normally, I do top 5 videos rather than a top 4. Why did I do this? Well, there's one more theory about an Elite Four member that is not on my channel.
But yes, and of course, Eryizo, this video is over on my channel, so I'm gonna fly off over there. Why don't you join me and we'll discuss the idea that Lorelei is actually a man.
Sounds good to me. Let's do it. If you guys are here from Toby's channel, why not stick around and subscribe? If you want to see more videos, click here to see my top 5 Pokemon that should be in Pokken. Also, be sure to leave a like on the video to show your support, and I will see you guys on Toby's channel.